Hello and welcome back to another climbing progress video. This video we're going to be doing some top roping as you see here. Mainly going to focus on top roping, and it's a hybrid between top roping and bouldering. This is a relatively short video because it was a relatively short session. I did 4 different top roping routes. 3 of them will be shown here, and I did like 5 attempts on some boulders. I didn't have a lot of time in the gym. I went with a coworker uh, when I was visiting Provo, Utah, and this is taking place at a gym called the Quarry. It's a pretty good gym. I would say it's relatively soft from what I was expecting to be able to do. When I stopped top roping a couple years ago, I peaked around 11A, and although the 111A that I did attempt, I did not complete my first try. I was able to get it relatively easily. Could have just been a soft 11A, but this red climb here, for example, was graded a 10D, and this felt quite easy for a 10D, although I did my belay partner did go up before me, so I did watch him complete the climb, but it was a little sus on the grading here, that's for sure. But regardless, never hurts to top rope. Regardless, I love this. It has been quite a while since I've top roped. It absolutely enjoyed every single second I was on the wall. It was very fun, and I highly enjoyed it. This climb here was, like I was saying kind of a couple seconds ago, relatively easy, but it was very interesting because there's a lot of little small holds, and honestly, that move right there was kind of awkward, but I was able to make it stand up, grab the top, and call it a nice win. Now, I did a climb in between this, which was a 11C, or not 11C, a 10C. And then I was like, you know what? I want to try, because I was feeling quite confident. I was like, you know what? I want to try a 11A. And we found this 11A here. I hopped on and I was like, okay, let's see what can I do here. And as I was making it up the wall, felt actually pretty good. Get a nice little elbow shot right there. The holds were relatively okay, not super great. There were some small jugs, and these ones were more like kind of side pull slopers, I guess you would call them. Maybe someone has a better name for them. Always open to the correct terminology. Then not this big hold here, but the one above this that you can kind of see right now, below that really big red hold. I got to there relatively quickly, I would say. It's been about 45 seconds in this climb. And I got here and then I just couldn't see where to go next. And I wasn't panicking, but it was more just like my grip was fading kind of quick because it's been quite a while since I've top roped. So the endurance aspect of it is not my arms is not quite there yet. But I took a step back. I looked up and I realized, okay, I got to go for that white one directly above this massive red one here. So I kind of fixed my shirt a little bit because it was kind of riding up with the harness. And then I took a quick second just to get a breather here. And then I was able to get back on the wall, I would say relatively quickly. Got back on, matched 2 hands there, kind of where I fell. And I realized I just needed to stand up and just reach my arm up. I never really know the technicality of like, what is a legit climb or not with the whole if your arm is resting on another hold that's like directly in your way, because it's like I kind of need my arm to be there, but I'm also kind of using leverage of that hold to kind of help myself up. I don't know. I never really understand what the like true ruling is, but neither here nor there. So this, I was just trying to get my feet up, which I was being very particular with. I didn't want to fall again. I wanted to do this kind of not as a on-site, but as a first send sort of deal. So I was able to reach the top hold with one hand, and then I matched it with my second one and leaned back and took it down. Now, you'll see yellow tags on these climbs. This is, I would say, a V2 climb here. We're now bouldering. And they do a very interesting grading system here where, and unfortunately on this climb, I actually end up falling here. I go stand up and my leg just slips off on, because I like, it kind of like gets pushed off. And I was like, bummer. But they do an interesting grading system here where they put a yellow tag on the climb and they say, they list out 2 or 3 grades and people kind of vote on what they think the grade should be. And then that's ends up kind of more or less what the grade is. And I don't know, it's not obviously not a perfect system, but it is an interesting system. And just a quick comment on this one, that orange one there, supposedly a V4. I don't know exactly how I feel about that one. Felt V3-ish personally, but I just couldn't quite get my weight around. This pink one here, V2, solid V2. I put my weight too far over on the left side of it, so I ended up spinning the hold. So I just ended up shifting my weight to the right, which worked totally fine and didn't cause any problems, which I was relatively happy with. So I was able to get my hand up there, stand up, and I actually really enjoyed this climb. It felt satisfying. That was the first boulder climb I was able to finish here. I matched there, and then I topped out. I didn't know exactly what to do, but if I do both, then you know, it's all good. Then I finished off this climbing session with a single boulder V1. I'd say it says V1, V2, V3. No way it's a V3. Maybe a V2. I would highly doubt it though. I don't know. Maybe Seattle Bouldering Project just has completely warped my perception of how hard climbs are. But you know, I would say this is definitely a V1. There was no move that was like crazy. It felt relatively controlled all the way. At this point, my arms were pretty tired, so if it looks a little more laborious than you'd expect for a V1, that is more or less the reason why. But I was able to get this V1 in the books. Again, super short session. Tail of the tape here. Did the V9. The 10C, unfortunately, I didn't record that. The 10D you saw was the red one. That 5.9 was that first climb, beginning of the video, the green top rope. The V1, that last one. V2 went 1 for 1 or 1 for 2 on that one. And then the V4, I did a couple attempts on, and it didn't quite happen there. But I would say overall, a great session. Really kind of, you know, made me fall back in love with climbing again. I had been a little shaky since getting sick, but this was a perfect motivator for myself of needing to get better and, you know, needing to get back on the wall more. So hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching. Keep climbing.